Hello and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. It's time to head out. We need to find the Storyteller and we know where he is. However, before we do that, there's one other location we need to go to which is optional, so we're going to go there first. Right, area exit will have all that, it doesn't weigh too much, and out to the main map. Now I have installed this on a faster SSD, so in theory, load time should be reduced to pretty much nothing as it was then, so that should be pretty good going forward, but we'll see. Next time we get to a really large area, we'll see how long it takes. Hanged Cultist. A corpse wearing the robe of a worshipper of Deskari hangs from a signpost. It's been here for a while, but the bag on its belt remains undamaged. You can procure some regents here for creating consumable items. Alright, let's do that. Nice. We got all the stuff. Good. Let's head up here. We're going to ignore the library for just now, while we go to this wine cellar. Lost bag. A bag with a torn strap lies on the ground. More crafting materials, or consumables. Cool. Let's grab them. Ooh, enemies. Run away. We've already been here, right? Yeah, but there's no path through, as far as we're aware. Yeah, get it. We'll have all that. And in the wine cellar. This abandoned warehouse had a bad name long before the demons attacked. Most of the locals kept their distance from the building, as rumours abounded of someone or something howling and scratching the boarded up windows from the inside. The previous owners of the warehouse are said to have left some valuable items in there, but no brave soul has ever ventured inside to prove it. So, I believe that we were told about this from the barkeep, so yeah, let's see what's inside. I'm going to evade each time. We don't really get enough XP to be worth fighting and using resources that way, but it's okay. Right, enter. Alright, so, first of all, let's just do one of these. Nice, so we got a little bit of extra healing in there. Then we'll move slightly in. Cairn white and a white. Okay, so what are they? Okay, so they're undead of some kind. That's fine. Well, they're not necessarily super strong. You're level 5, I think, and you're level 4. You're actually stronger, I think. So the white is stronger. Okay. Lan, shoot it. Let's see how we did. Lan didn't get a second shot. Okay, that's fine. Move over here. Ember, they're probably immune to sleep, right? They are immune to sleep. Okay, cool. So no point doing that. Let's just put a little buff on Naminde here. Just for this turn. Darren, we'll move you forward. Woljif's going to move down here. Seela's going to take a step up this way. Horse is actually a little bit hurt. We should probably have noticed that before now. Nice, it missed. Lan, shoot the white. Okay, we can hit this one. Forwards. Or not, as the case may be. I'm going to use another one of these. Just to keep us a little bit safer. Darren, shoot it.
Out of my sight.
Okay, didn't do anything. And
Cover
attack.
me, right?
There we go. That's some good damage. Horse, attack. Oh, that's Seela. Never mind. And she also wasn't in range. Horse, attack. There we go. Ooh, we've got a few others running in from other rooms. Okay. This is fine. It missed. If they're low on health, I'm actually going to leave them, because I think on Darren's turn, I'm going to use an ability to kill them.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Okay, attack it.
We won't falter.
Nice crit. Okay, we will use one of these on Naminde. So she's again less likely to be hit. So then here, we want to damage undead. Nice, look at that. Kill the one that was low on health. This one's about to die. This one's at half health. This one's at half health. Alright, Woljif. Hit this one in front of you.
Stab your reaction. Why not?
Nice. Very dead. Seela.
Into the fray.
Horse? Come on. We did it. Only one of them with a turn. Double miss. Kill it. Very good. Okay, solid fight. One bit of special loot, the Icebreaker. One-handed battle axe, which whenever it confirms critical hit, all creatures within 10 feet have to make a successful reflex saving throw or suffer 3d6 cold damage. That's a huge AoE for like the amount of damage that you're doing. You do have to get the crit, but you know, it's a good AoE. Right, grab the loot. Just out of curiosity, who can use it? There it is. So Sela. Just Sela right now. Okay. So, she's not going to use it because she already has a special weapon. Right, around here. Keep grabbing loot. It's just a lot of regents so far. Now, enemies did come in from this room, so I would assume that means that there's nothing else in here. Does look like it's a room with a trap in it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Can't hide from
Oh,
me.
perception checks. Nice. And an orc double axe unidentified called Tempest. Okay, what's up with Tempest? So orc double axe is a two-handed axe. It deals an additional 1 cold damage with one end and sonic damage with the other. Okay, cool. It's not amazing, but it's there. Is that everything in here? That is indeed absolutely everything in here. And it is time to leave. Yeah, okay. Solid area. No real problems. Think it's time to go. 72. Yeah, we were able to collect everything as well on the way out. Wonderful. Right. Back to the Blackwing Library. This famous library holds one of the biggest collections of books in the field of demonology. Scholars and monster hunters from all across Mendev and even other countries come here both to study the creatures of the abyss and to figure out how to deal with them. And we need to speak to the Storyteller who's going to be here. So, let's head down. Enter. So, we have some people here, Crusaders who appear to be on our side. What about this?
What's that?
I'll look at that in a second. The great library of Canabris has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. Seems someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps and furniture and tearing pages out of books. Okay. We'll have all that for just now. Just continue checking the back here. More books. Have we read it? Verizian Horror. We have not read that one. Ooh, new armor? Slimy Skin ×2. Notes from my travels in Northern Avastin. We have not read that either. What is up with that armor? Wait. Oh, I think I read the... Yeah, Slimy Skin. Okay, it's actually the padded armor of focus. Okay. What does it do? +2 bonus on concentration checks. It's a 1 armor. Alright, so... I guess this is armor that could be worn by you or you, probably. Because it... Yeah, it can't be worn by you, but it could be worn by Darren. It does give him a 5% arcane spell failure chance, though, which is kind of not worth doing, I think. Yeah, I guess it maybe be good for Camellia or something. I don't know, but probably not. Yeah, I think it's just not good for anyone right now. Maybe Nenio? Again, it's got the arcane spell failure, which is the problem, really. Yeah, I don't know who that's for. Unless we get something that lowers arcane spell failure, which would be nice. More loot. Terendelev, Guardian of Canabris. We have also not read that. 3 books we haven't read yet.
Follow me.
I think. Barrel of Flammable Alchemical Substance. Well, that's not worrying at all. Not in the slightest. Hello. Well, there's the Storyteller in the flames. That's very bad. Hello, everybody. A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is splattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. The hefty crusader smiles merrily, paying no heed to the blood-curdling squeaks coming from the pyre. While you're wandering around besieged Canabras, demons manage to take the initiative and inflict serious damage on the city's defenders. Oh, because I didn't come here first. This is why there's a pyre here. Oh, okay. And the smell of acrid, and the acrid smell of burning flesh. They burn well enough, don't they? Cursed traitors. Areelu's minions. These vermin infiltrated the Crusader forces and aided the demons from inside the city. But I caught them. I am Captain Caleb Sazomal, and these men are my subordinates. A strange feeling rises up within you. It is pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you're certain that it is right. So I can religion check their armor. I can take a closer look with perception. Let's religion check their armor. You notice the emblems on the armor of the two silent crusaders belong to the Order of the Flaming Lance. Caleb's armor bears the sigil of the Order of the Sunrise Sword. Strange then that he introduced himself as their captain. Something's not right here. Ah, they're lying, and... May I bring you back to this one? Demons managed to take the initiative? Maybe they're demons. Requires Trickster Mythic Path? Okay. We don't have that, and I don't think we need to do it. Let's do a perception check as well. Caleb is talking too loudly, all the while casting sidelong looks at you. You've seen similar behavioral quirks before, in liars. I don't believe you, you are the traitor! No, let's first of all say what happened to the library. Demons showed up and carried everything off. I wasn't here to see it myself. I was fighting in the square, but those filthy traitors told me everything. My fists made them quite chatty. So what? You tortured them? Do you think those methods are worthy of a crusader? Under ordinary circumstances, no. But look around. The city is burning. Now is not the time for squeamishness. Who are you punishing? The warrior howls like a wild animal. Look around you. The city is in burning ruins. So many innocent lives lost, all because of abominations like these here. Cultists, heretics, and spies, slipping into our ranks, carrying out the orders of their brutal masters, and preparing a heinous death for us all. They want to give us over to the demons, just like Areelu did with Sarkoris. They deserve to feel the flames licking at their legs. You come up with nasty words to use against people. You call them heretics, cultists, spies, so you don't have to call them people. Good people just like you. You'd feel bad for doing this to people, but not to heretics. Without those words, you wouldn't be able to burn them. Alright. I don't believe you, you're the traitor. We're going right for it. We've been chaotic enough. It's time to have some lawful justice here. We know that he's lying to us. We know he is not their captain, and therefore burning these people, especially the one that we were sent to find, seems very wrong. You are the traitor. Caleb looks at you in grim annoyance and spits on the floor. I thought I'd pulled one over on you there. Too bad it didn't work out for you. You'll meet your deaths in the flames with the rest of the scum. My new masters, the demons, will be pleased that I wiped out another couple of crusaders. Ah, so these are 3 crusaders who defected. Got it.
Do not fear. Do not.
Oh, there was more over there and there. I didn't see them. Okay. We don't get a surprise round. We don't have grease. They are flat-footed. Okay. Just going through what we can do here. Could try this one. Stone Call. Bludgeoning damage. Damage only occurs once. It won't give us a sneak attack though. But it would make the area difficult to get through. I could try casting that like this. How far forward do I have to move there? That seems fine. Just trying to adjust where we're standing. There. Go. Lots of little bits of damage. Does the same damage to each of them, I think? Yeah, I think it only rolls once and then applies it to all. Okay. And now, all of that's difficult terrain as well. Cannot charge. You could charge this one, though. Wow! You are a vicious horse. They're going to move slowly towards us because of the vicious terrain. Could could do this first. Yeah, I think we do this first. Little divine favor. And then we just end our turn. They're moving towards us through the difficult terrain. Ember, who's still got a turn? Caleb does, and this guy. I think we're unlikely to put Caleb to sleep. Let's put the Crusader at the back to sleep. Failed, but that's okay. Caleb, nice miss. Lan, shoot the Crusader at the back.
You won't survive me.
Nice. Okay, we skipped a turn with that. I don't think we need to do anything too exciting. Let's just shoot.
I will see to your demise.
Can you charge him? No, but you could just walk forward and attack, which seems just about as good.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Woljif can then take his attack. Nice. Even got a secondary one on Caleb. This Crusader is next, so attack him. Horse is insane. Horse is absolutely insane. Nice damage. We might as well try a sleep here. Didn't work, but it was worth a shot. Alright, shoot.
Endure this.
This guy wasn't really that tough, all things considered. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning grey hair, a ragged beard, sightless, milky eyes, pale, papery skin covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the faces of elves, even on their deathbed, has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction in the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello, I am the Storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I am not mistaken. What's it going to tell us about the Storyteller? The Storyteller is a mysterious elf traveller who arrived in Canabra shortly before Deskari attacked. The strangest part about him is not his blindness, but the fact he looks ancient, even though old age typically does not affect the appearance of elves. This enigmatic figure harbours many secrets. Okay. Storyteller! Ha! That's the first I've heard of a venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Sometimes a person can lose their name, but Mama and Papa are gone, friends are gone, and there's nobody to ask what it is. So instead of their name, a person can pick any word that is good. Everybody has to have a name. Or do they? I don't know. Oh yes, we are your rescuers, the very idea. I, the saviour of helpless old men. A whisper of this could cost me my reputation as a heartless narcissist, built over years of ceaseless toil. That's the damage bad company can do. Darren turns his shining eyes to you. You'll be the ruin of me, won't you? Let's talk to him first. Yes, does that scare you? Oh no, it doesn't. Darren keeps his eyes locked on yours. The threat is great, but I am not one to turn my back on fear. I tire of this. That fine old fellow you saved is awaiting your reaction, by the way. Who are you? The old elf frowns. I prefer people call me Storyteller. It very accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name. You have piqued my curiosity, a storyteller. Are you a bard? If so, you should come perform at one of my parties, instead of knocking about in this dusty library. A bard? Well, in some sense, yes, but not the type of bard that performs at festivities. I think your guests would lose their appetite after hearing my tales. Ah, what a shame! And I was so hoping to wheel you out for my guests with your unusual appearance. You would have caused quite the scandal. But lugubrious bards are of no use to me. Half the bards in the city are the same. Their repertoire is confined to the one about longing, the one that causes indigestion, and the one that's a complete waste of time. I mean, really, how is one supposed to host a party with that? Even when I was little, my mother and father used to tell me stories, but I have no one to tell me stories now. Sometimes Grandma does in my dreams, but I always forget them in the morning. Can you tell me a story? The corners of the blind elf's mouth slowly creep upward. For you, I may have a story to tell, but perhaps it is you who has a story for me. An elf who ages like any member of the short-lived races. How can that be? What happened to you, kinsman? I do again like that it's showing our race in dialogue. It has a purpose. A smile touches the old elf's lip. That is a complicated question, child. I would be happy to tell you more about myself and the burden I carry, but I'd rather do it in some other, safer place. How come you didn't burn in the fire? Great question. To tell the truth, I myself do not know. I felt the heat. It was so strong. I waited for the pain, the burning, but I was unscathed. But the smoke nearly did finish me off. It may be some form of magical protection against fire. I don't know by what means I have acquired it. Just another oddity from my collection of the inexplicable. Doom steals across the storyteller's pensive face. I want to talk to you about something. The old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I, of course, will render you a service in turn, whatever it may be. However, at this moment, I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I would be grateful if you could help me to a safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set of the elf's mouth tells you he won't change his mind. Ah, typical. You do someone a good turn and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for more help. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. We can't not help him. If it was up to me, Grandfather Elf, I'd throw you over my shoulder and carry you out of here. This is no place for old folks. I would think the storyteller would have a huge amount to talk about with the talking weapon, but we'll move on from that. I'm taking you to Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again. And if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. No. Instead, what I want to do is I want to loot. Because why would I not loot first? What did we find? Ah, a book. Grab it. What is it? Without a shadow of the doubt, expecting nothing in return. Okay. We'll grab that. We'll grab this book as well. Temples of Iomade. Okay. Anything else in here? Ooh, Caleb had something on him. What was that? The collapse. A one-handed axe. Grab all this. We'll leave the heavy plate. Just for just now. Or the half plate, I should say. Don't know why I called it heavy plate. Oh, is that full plate? Oh. We won't leave the... oh, there was another named one that we apparently just completely moved past. Maybe he's in the fire. That's full plate. That's huge, right? Does give you a max dex bonus of 1, which means we actually get an extra armor class on this. Yeah, that is huge. Look at this. We go up to 29 armor class. That is fantastic. Full plate is just... it's amazing. Yeah, we're still in light heaviness, actually, which is good. Knowledge Arcana check? Oh, interesting. Let's take it. Very high DC.
I can't do it.
We failed it. What did we roll? We rolled a 1 with a modifier of 18. Wow. The enormous black rift cuts the library in half. It goes so deep that one can only wonder who could have possibly wreaked such destruction and how. It was Deskari? I don't even think we really needed a check for that. It was Deskari? Oh, that's just the flammable substance, yeah. Ooh. Hidden wall. Or, well, the wall's there, but as in hidden door behind the hidden wall. Knowledge world? What have we got?
It won't work.
This is a statue of a lean man dressed in wizard's robes. You do not recognize his face. Alright, well that was a high check as well. Grab that. Don't need the leather armor. Don't need that. We will have the quarterstaff of Coercion. This +1 quarterstaff adds 1 to DC for all will saving throws against spells the wielder casts. That's kind of cool. Yeah. We should maybe equip that on you. Yeah, that seems like a thing that she should have, and we'll maybe make that her main thing to have. And then we'll switch her to a crossbow if we need to at the start of her combat. But this means that her... Yeah, this means that her slumber should now be stronger, right? Because it is a spell, right? And it has a will negate. So this should add +2 to it, right? Sorry, +1 to it. I think so. Well, we'll test that out. Also, we got Tempest. We saw that one. We got Icebreaker. There we go. Wait, we already saw that. Which one was it? Crush the Collapse. There we go. Whenever this +1 Cold Iron Warhammer confirms a critical hit, all enemies within 15 feet must pass a Fortitude saving throw or become prone. Very good. Not going to use it. Because I have nobody who uses... I have the same problem. I have nobody who actually uses axes. And everybody else has a weapon. Okay. Grab that.
Check that out.
We'll grab that. Get out of the fire. I don't know why you ran through it. What's this? Bookcase is full of text describing demons and methods of fighting them. Regrettably, all this knowledge wasn't enough to save Canabras from the spawn of the Abyss. How to make money during a war against demons. Alright, I like that one. Is that an actual door or is that a fake door? Fake door. Okay. Try and move out here without taking damage. I think we managed it this time. Okay, we still managed it. There's no way across here as far as I can tell. I'm trying to think, maybe if we had Dimension Door we could jump over here. No, it's not. It's not solids. It won't even let us click there, so... Yeah, okay. I think we have everything in here. We have the 2 checks that we failed, but they probably don't make too much of a difference. Yeah, I can't even see the statue in there. Right, let's speak to the Storyteller and take our fast travel back. In fact, you know what? Before we do that... Can I leave the area? There is no leaving the area. Okay, well, in which case we'll grab all the loot like this then.
Let us be off.
Like an animal, we'll click through the loot and grab it manually. Right. Why am I grabbing all the half plate? Because then we can sell all the half plate for 150 a shot. That's why we're grabbing all the half plate. I should have grabbed all the loot then. If I'd known, I would have just grabbed it all at the time. Oh yeah, we can kind of see that wizard. We can kind of see that wizard person there. Maybe we can come back here and do these checks. I don't know how often you get them. I think from memory, this might be completely wrong. I think it was like once a day you could do a check, but I'm not sure. It might have just been that you could go in and out, but I think it was once a day. Anyway, Storyteller. Yeah, let's go. Wonderful. Also, you can't leave without the Storyteller, which shows that he is a mandatory person to have. And we're back. Right. Let's go sell some things to you. Hello. Newest to oldest right now. Get rid of the masterwork heavy crossbows. Actually, wait a second. Do we have somebody with just a heavy crossbow? Yes. Did that replace it? Unequip. Equip. I want to take one of those back. Okay. Do you have a heavy crossbow? You do. Take one of those back. You have a heavy crossbow. You have a light crossbow. Okay, that's fine. You have a light crossbow as well. Although masterwork heavy would probably be better for you if you can use it. Yeah, probably. That's fine. We'll check it out. Right, let's just deal there. Let's have a look at these people. So you definitely going with that. You're definitely going with that. And then I need to compare. So, this one. 1 to 8. 1 to 8. So if I equip that. 2, 1 to 10. It's a straight upgrade. Cool. That's all I needed to know. We don't have anybody else who uses armor. I just seen what are you currently using? The Mithril shirt. Yeah, it's pretty good. Right, back in here. So, sell the Cold Iron Masterwork Heavy Maces. And all the half plate. Which gets us quite a lot. Oh, bulk selling as well. The Kama can go. The Studied Leather can go. I think I'm better in type now. Get rid of the long swords. We'll keep the rapier. Get rid of the light crossbows. The long swords. Keep the dagger. Get rid of the glaives. Get rid of our many heavy shields. Oh, keep that one. Get rid of those. Keep our half plate +1. Deal. Look at the money. It's wonderful. Right. Over here. We'll chuck the rest of these magical items in this chest here. In case we get somebody who needs them. What's taking up all of our weight? We're already at 29. Is it just these two? Or is that including the stuff that we're carrying? It might be including the stuff that we're personally carrying. Also just seeing, is there any of these that I don't need? No, these are all unread. I'm going to leave them as unread for just now. It's fine. Yeah, I don't see anything else that's weighing that. Oh, do these weigh something? Ah, they do. So that's probably where the rest of the weight comes from. Right.
Let's move.
Quick save. We have the Storyteller here who we need to speak to. We also have 11,000 gold. I'm going to speak to you first. Hello. Hello. I'm going to buy a single scroll of Raised Dead. I don't want to buy too many. But I think a single scroll of Raised Dead sounds very sensible. Let's see. Name A to Z. Scroll of Raised Dead. Where are we? There we go. One sounds very sensible because we have run out of Trendlev scales, so having just a res seems like a sensible thing to have. I also probably should have like this on somebody, and so I remember it. I was just looking at other stuff we had that was shining over there. The other thing that's worth buying from this person, which was pointed out to me during a stream, is Icy Protector, specifically because we have the Ice Plant Hex. I think, so gaining an extra +2 to natural armor bonus while with Ice Plant Hex seems pretty good, and it gives you cold resistance. It's just like a nice thing, it's not, we must have it. What about this one? As long as the amulet's under the Death Ward spell, they gain a +2 morale bonus against attacks from undead creatures. If they use any single target cure wound spells on a target whose current HP is 0 or less, the target is healed for additional number of hit points equal to their number of hit dice. Okay, I think it's not necessary. Yeah, the rest of that's fine. Right, we'll just deal. We could buy another Amulet of Natural Armor actually as well. We could do with another. If we got an Amulet of Natural Armor, that would actually give us an extra armor class. Yeah, you know what, we'll buy it as well. We have money to burn through, so that gives us a 23 armor class. Nowhere near the armor class of Sela right here of 29, but still, you know, respectable enough. Right. Quick save. Back over here. Also, let me just check my spell book for everybody. Just because I'm planning on resting and then heading out after this, so I want to make sure that everybody's spells are sorted. I'm just checking the highest one here. Basically just seeing whether they have spells in the slots. Yeah, which they all do. Cool. Right, quick save. Let's have a little chat. The blind elf looks better than he did in your last encounter. His clothes are clean and his pale face has some color. The elf turns to you and listens closely. Is that you, my savior? I recognized your footsteps. Determined footsteps befitting a determined person. Allow me to thank you again for saving me. Please accept this humble gift as a token of my appreciation. The elf hands you a small black ring with 2 scarlet runes on it. Okay. Interesting, we'll see what that does in a second. Erebeth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Canabris that the local wardstone had been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I've examined many wardstones, but only in the one guarding Canabris did I sense the flaw, a spot of corruption inside. I wonder if you spoke to the Storyteller before Holoroon, whether you could have got a better outcome from that? I don't know. A vulnerability the demons will surely use. They are able to spread the blight inside the wardstone, corrupt it, and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it will be capable of. The wardstone must be destroyed. Who are you, and why did they let you examine the wardstone? The elf smiles faintly. I am the Storyteller, just an old elf, and a bit more. I am old even for an elf. I've seen many things and have been to many places. Not so long ago, I witnessed the making of a young kingdom in the Stolen Lands, led by a remarkable and promising individual. My advice on the complicated matter of conquering those lands proved useful to that leader. This is not uncommon for me. Some seek my advice or services, and I don't refuse. This is how I acquired my reputation as an old vagrant who's never hurt anyone, stayed out of others' squabbles, but sometimes gave good advice. I have a few friends in Nerosian who vouched for my integrity. This is why my humble request to be allowed to see the wardstones was granted. I visited all of them, but only found cause for alarm in Canabris. Do you wield some special magic power? Some instinct? The Storyteller chuckles. Yes, to a certain extent. But it is more of a gift. I can see the past, stories that have happened. I touch an object and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to my mind. Their emotions, passions, and tragedies. I see visions like I am them, and their stories happen to me. This is my power. I've been roaming the world gathering such stories for many thousands of years. One day I will gather them all. Interesting. That kind of implies that he thinks that he's going to be around for a lot longer than a normal lifespan, you would imagine. I mean, he is an elf, so would live for a while, but still, every story? Okay. What blight is concealed in the wardstone? I'm afraid I don't have the answer to your question. To understand the nature of this blight, you need to understand how the wardstone was created, and it is hidden from me. I can only guess. So his ability to see visions does not extend to gods. Have you heard of the Red Morning Massacre? A dreadful morning remembered with fear even by those not yet born at the time. A demoness called Minago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers, and started to do what demons do best, kill and desecrate. They say they covered the wardstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Iomade herself? The locals seem to think this is impossible, but who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here, even the terrifying Baelor Koramzadeh. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how you meant to say that. Anyway, yeah, it must be Koramzadeh. Anyway, their attacks were rebuffed, and they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own, but Deskari himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness, to open the abscess that has been festering for years, unnoticed by the people of Canabris. When the demon lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. Now it's in demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone, and from it to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the Worldwound. Why did you travel to the wardstones? I tried to see their stories. The visions I had when I touched the wardstones were unclear. I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of different stories at the same time. They followed each other like flashes of lightning. It was impossible to separate them. I couldn't understand where one of them ended and the next began. I have heard you, Storyteller. In that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the Wardstone. As far as I know, there is nothing like it in Canabras, but the demons might have something. I heard the dying roar of Terendelev, the silver dragon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you to go where Terendelev perished, and search there for something. I'm sorry I can't be more specific, but intuition and a strange sense of rightness tells me to point you there. Ah, well that's where we found a knife. Yeah, the purple stone knife of the Aeon. The Storyteller reaches out and says softly, "Even from here I can feel strange energies emanating from this object. If you don't mind, I will examine it, using my method. I will try to see the past of its owner, their emotions, and shreds of their memories. Maybe it'll help us better understand what we are dealing with." The Storyteller touches the knife, his fingers clamping around the hilt with a hungry, masterful grip. His face contours into an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy. "Hunger. My many legs bring me into the lair, to my mother's feasting hall. Her swollen body overfilled with food is so huge that I have to look at it with all my eyes at once. On top is her scrawny little head with a long beak that is always yearning for more food. You feel feverish, and your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed, feels hot. Your mind is flooded with a wave of visions that repeat the words of the old elf. Mother greets me with a placid screech. Stupid, greedy wretch, whose only achievement is my birth. A creeping, wingless creature. It's your fault I have no wings. A symbol of greatness. A birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points me to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud. Like dark, buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. Mother has always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters the bone spurs on my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful tiny head and tear it off along with the shreds of meat. Victory. I am the strongest. I am the son of my winged father. The elf grimaces with distaste, his voice becomes normal again. Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones to keep with me. Did this knife belong to a demon? The Storyteller opens his mouth to answer, but a sudden spasm crosses his face. A new vision, a much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice as it grows more determined and tired. Even looking at the Wardstone is difficult. Despite the corruption nesting in it, it still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clench the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot on the flawless surface of the Wardstone draws your attention. It looks like a butterfly, corruption in the guise of something utterly harmless. But it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with the knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. A howl invades your eyes, your ears, Light, white light everywhere. The stone knife falls from the old elf's hand. Out of breath, he drops to his knees. He is trembling. The terror on his face is so unlike his usual dignified manner. Oh, what was that? That was not the past. That was something that is yet to happen, or rather might happen. One of the roads to the future, and one of the possible futures this item will help you cleanse the Wardstone or to destroy it. You feel a longing to take the stone chisel and plunge it into your chest, right into the wound that is opened up in it. It's hard to resist this feeling, but at the last moment your self-preservation instinct takes over. You manage to keep control of your own hands. The old man stands up. He looks completely stunned. Never before has anything like this happened to me. But how? I am not an oracle or a prophet. Or is this another riddle from the past that has caught up with me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that have yet to happen. I don't know why this is happening now, but there is one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes. Great changes. I shared your vision, and this knife tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought me? I sense dark energies in that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Or perhaps something else happened to us, something we don't yet understand. Can you see the future? I don't know. Obviously I can, but nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The future never opened its secrets to me before I met you. Gods, who are you, and why have our paths crossed? I feel this is not a coincidence. Something momentous is happening. Destiny is pushing us towards something. But what? Questions without answers. I swear this morning I couldn't have imagined what awaited me. Maybe it's the knife that gives you the power of divination. This knife is a powerful artifact, but I feel that its power is of a different nature. No, I felt the same as I do when I tell the past. This is my gift, but manifested in a completely abnormal way. Is what you saw destined to happen? No, the future is not set. It used to be, a long time ago when the god Areelu guarded Golarion, but not now. Prophecies do not come true, or they do, but not in the way they were supposed to. I only saw one version of the future, one of the paths leading to it. The choice has not been made. Our destinies are not set in stone. Who were you in your vision? I don't know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt that what I was doing had to be done. Could be us. Your powers are amazing. A few minutes ago I would have agreed with you. But the thing that has just happened, it disturbs me. A gift has never manifested like this. Something has changed. And these changes frighten me. Please examine the items I'm carrying. Perhaps some of them could tell us a story on a completely different topic. Let me touch them, and I'll tell you what I can see. So usually what this is it'll just go through some things and it'll say, you have got 1 out of 10. If it's the same as Kingmaker, and then you come back to him when you got 10 out of 10 and he'll give you a story. Oh, but he's got something about radiance. The old elf carefully takes Yaniel's sword radiance. Powerful forces lie dormant in his sword. He used to belong to an incredibly bright and daring soul. The storyteller's hand touches Finian. What a peculiar weapon. I sense intelligence in it, but it seems dented. Ha ha ha! Grandpa Elf, watch where you're poking your fingers. It tickles. The storyteller fiddles with a fragment of a gold buckle. An old thing, created long ago by divine will, but the power that gave birth to it is lost in the darkness. However, the relic still lives on, though it has changed. I wonder what secret it is hiding. Would you like to know it? Bring me 5 vials of magic essence, and I will revive this object, and with it, its story. Okay, so this is different than previously. So in Kingmaker, you had to go and get like all the pieces of the artifact, then bring it to him, and then he would put them together and give you a story. In this one, he's like, nah, find the artifact, then bring me some crafting ingredients, then I'll tell you a story. At least that's how I remember it from Kingmaker. Maybe this was how it worked there as well, but I think I've got it right. The elf looks at you with unusual impatience. Shall we? So can I do this? No, because I don't have the 5 magical essences. Okay, let's leave. I have to go. Right, magical essences. Well, you're a potion seller. Sell me some magical essence. Name. Looking under M for magical. You do not sell magical anything. Yeah, okay. Do you sell essence? No. Do we have any magical essence? That's the next question. Name from A to Z. I'm assuming it's going to be in this section. Fork? No. Glass? No. Jade? No. Magic essence is that. Okay, so we're looking for swirly swirls. Although, wait, are they... They are shiny around the edges, so I'm wondering whether there's something else going on there. Like maybe, yeah, they're limited or something. Right, like this. You don't sell any either, so that probably means they're not for sale. Okay, cool. Let's head back to the guy, do a quick save, and carry on with lore. I told you when we first went to look for this guy he was going to have a lot of lore, and he does. Right. Tell me about his previous owner with the stone knife. We've already done this one. Okay. Thank you for the story. So you can go through previous stories as well. Let's see what you say about Radiance. The storyteller touches the blade with his finger. Sadness rings in his voice. Dresden is doomed. Demons attacked right when we lost the protection of the Sword of Valor. My city, my bastion of hope. We built you as a symbol that the lands mutilated by the Abyss could still be restored to by mortals. Now you are perishing, and there is nothing I can do. We retreat. No, we flee. A frightened crowd rushes out into the night through the southern gate. They are chased by the angry howls of demons, killing the last defenders of the citadel. My heart goes out to them, but I'm standing still on the wall. I am covering the retreat. Demons do not attack. They seethe around you, fall from the sky, strike from all sides at once. They can't be stopped, but they can be distracted. I ran to the upper floor of the gate tower. Radiance glows with a golden light in my hands. I permit myself to close my eyes for just one heartbeat. I imagine that the soft glimmering of the sword I see through my closed eyelids is the light of the summer sun. I smile. I open my eyes and call out, "Hey, Deskari's spawn! Who wants the best trophy of the night? You know my name, Yaniel. You know how many of you I have killed with this very hand? You want to curry favor with the Darazand, Minago, or the echo of your lord? Bring them my head, if you can." Roaring and screeching, they rush towards me, in a wave of deformed bodies and unfurled wings. The wave crashes against me, splattering my armor with bloody froth. Broken wings and chopped up bodies plummet to the foot of the tower. In the heat of battle, I see Joran's pale face down there, and he looks up to me in desperation. But he can't help. He's carrying 2 wounded on his shoulders. My city will fall, but my friends will survive. This is what I am fighting for. I am covering the retreat. And that's Joran Vane, who is outside. Okay. And I believe he made the sword. The flow of fleeing people gradually dwindles. My armor is broken in many places, and I cannot heal my wounds anymore. The last demon I stabbed with radiance suddenly recoils, tearing the handle out of my blood-slickened hand. He flies up, but falls somewhere far behind the walls, by the road being taken by those fleeing. No more golden glow in my hands. The night closes in on me, filled with shrieking, mocking demon laughter. Dresden, I'm dying with you. Light of the sword, righteous Iomade, accept my soul. The storyteller runs his hand along the blade with a sad smile. I know whose memory this is. I've heard about her so many times. Yaniel was a true crusader. Touching her memories is so cleansing. Oh, can we see the future of every object as well? Tell me the future of the sword. Just one of numerous possibilities. The blind elf touches the sword hilt and metal rings in his voice. I slide out of the sheath swiftly. I proudly watch the army of warriors led by my lady. I sing, slashing out slash in the air, putting courage into their hearts. I am Radiance. Tremble, city of Dresden. My lady Yaniel has perished, but I am not done yet. Charge. The storyteller returns the sword to you. It is nice to know that this sword's glory days are not over. It has many battles ahead. Take care of it. It is a glorious sword. Tell me what you see with Finian here. Hello, Grandpa Elf. The storyteller carefully takes Finian from your hands. Hello, Finian. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath. His face contorts into a painful grimace. I'm coming to again. How long have I been here? They kept me in a cage for 3 days. I know this because 3 times the light under the door disappeared for a long time. Then they chained me to the table, and the bladesmith, everyone calls him the bladesmith, placed a device with a jar over me. Feels like I'm being fried. At first I tried to break free, then I got tired, then I screamed, but now I've lost my voice, though the pain is burning through me, right through me. The storyteller stops, his voice changes and becomes more frightened. I think I lost consciousness again. But when I woke up, the pain was gone, and I wasn't tied to the table anymore. I was standing near it, and someone else was lying on the table. A burned corpse covered with a black crust. The master took out a handsaw and was sawing off his head in a very focused way. I think he's looking at his own body. Ooh. I should have run back then, but I couldn't for some reason. The burned corpse had a symbol on his belt, just like I do. An eye and a star. My favorite belt, a good one. Where would a stranger get one? It must have been someone from my clan, some distant family member. The storyteller stops. When he speaks again, you only hear a muffled whisper. Those Crusaders, I was glad when I saw them. I thought they'd come to help, but how? How was it that I killed them all? Someone told me to, and I obeyed. I don't understand. I understand nothing now. I need to catch my breath. I need all this to stop, even just for a minute. I just have to understand what's happening to me. Just need to rest. The storyteller shakes his head, slowly coming to his senses. So it sounds like something like his soul was burned out of his body, inserted into the sword, and then the sword was used to kill a bunch of Crusaders who came to rescue him. Ew, okay, I can see why he's gone a bit crazy. I don't know why they cut off his head though. But, you know, who needs to know? That's Finian's past, but what awaits him in the future? The dead have no future, but the storyteller smiles. I see an endless ocean on a good day, and a boat flying over the waves. I am so excited, I don't know whose vision this is. Is this a soul existing here and now, or a soul reborn? Oh, interesting. So, he's saying that the Finian is truly dead, and it's just like his life force powering the weapon at this point. Okay, but his soul might have reincarnated or something, and we're seeing the next soul, potentially? That's interesting. Alright, that's a weird idea, but thank you for your story. The storyteller gives Finian back to you. Please take care of this young lad. He is finally in the right hands. Do not worsen his suffering by involving him in dishonorable deeds. Come on, Grandpa Elf, I can take care of myself. I'm not a kid. I don't know what horrors you were talking about, but don't you worry about it, alright? Look after yourself. We don't have the necessary materials just yet. Alright, let's see what else we got. I found a page that might interest you. Ah, yeah, the book page that we found, the Elven book page. Yes. The storyteller carefully takes the page from your hands. His fingers touch the ancient letters gently, examining them lightly, following their lines. I see myself, young, energetic, able to see. Oh gods, have I found a key to my past? Finally, I will find out what my own mind has been hiding from me. The elf's expression becomes withdrawn, the wrinkles on his face soften. Thank you, Naminde, and please follow me to my story. Let us embark on this journey together. The storyteller inhales sharply a few times and begins his story. They are leaving. The people of Kyonan faced the coming Earthfall and admitted that they were incapable of handling this disaster. proud rulers, artful crafters, brave warriors, wise mages, and skilled healers. All of them hurry to the gate of Sovereign, looking around fearfully. A clean, safe world is awaiting for them there. My people decided not to fight for Golarion. I am ashamed, and I am sorry for them. Their hearts wavered in the face of the catastrophe, but my will is strong. I am staying. My kinfolk are looking at me angrily. How dare I diminish their decision with my recklessness? My choice makes them cowards, traitors of their own home. In one of them, my former mentor looks at me bitterly. He hands me a neat notebook with a tree bark cover. In case you change your mind. With a heavy sigh, he returns to the line of those departing. Forgive me, brothers and sisters. I watch the gate of the Sovereign stone close, separating me from them. So they're all leaving. I'm just seeing where we're at here. So the people of Caionan face the coming Earthfall. Did they all leave? Or are they all leaving? I think they're all left to go to Golarion. I'm just seeing here. Oh no, it was evacuated. There we go. It was completely evacuated by the elves just before this fall of the Starstone. So, they've recently, by elven standards, returned to Golarion to reclaim their ancient homeland. Okay, got it. But the Storyteller stayed there the whole time. So this might be what's separating him from the other elves. So while all the other elves left Caionan and went off to safety, the Storyteller stayed there and faced the Starstone falling. So that's probably what caused something to happen to him. Okay. It's time for me to go too. I opened my master's notebook. These are his notes about traveling between worlds, in case you change your mind. He hopes the burden I shouldered voluntarily will be too much. I will lose heart and find my way to Sovereign. That will never happen. My mouth set stubbornly. I tear my master's notebook to pieces. I use my forced pride as a shield against my fear of what is to come. So why did the elves decide to flee, not to fight? The Storyteller's lips purse with disdain. They are afraid to lose what they have. They were rulers, long-lived and powerful. They valued their lives and sunshine too much to enter the fight with the aftermath of the Earthfall. Your mentor is a mage, then you must be too, yes? Yes, I am an archmage. This title is well deserved. I've acquired delicate mastery and succeeded in many areas of magic. But curiosity has always pushed me towards new knowledge since the first day of my apprenticeship. What is the Sovereign ring, or stone? A magnificent crystal, bent into an arch by a mighty hand of an ancient divine creator. Our great gate to other worlds. It breathes power. It dreams of eternity. Why are you angry at your fellow elves? I spent many hundreds of hours, I don't know why I'm misreading all these words, I do apologize. It's just a lot of text and eventually my mind is just going crazy, but that's okay. I spent many hundreds of years in Caionan. I have always admired the way my kinfolk cared for the forest that was our home, but the rest of the world seemed to mean nothing to them. But I love Golarion, all its places, all the forms it manifests in. I travelled widely, and then came home and told my kinfolk about my travels, but they weren't interested. They only cared about Caionan. Their lack of desire to hear about the wider world makes me sad and angry. What happened next? Earthfall happened at night. I am standing at the top of my tower, many miles to the north of Caionan, and I see a blaze far in the south. I hear a horrendous rumble. The air is groaning, giving way to a huge rock rushing down on my world, and then a blow. Vibration that penetrates everything, reaching down into the bowels of Golarion and up into the vaults of the sky. Crunching bones, blood from burst vessels filling my eyes with darkness. Drowning in timelessness, along with countless denizens of Golarion. Never before have we been so united in our feelings. When I come around, the darkness remains. My first terrible thought, I'm blind, but no. Little by little I begin to see the stone wall. I am alive, but why is it so dark? The answer is quick. The smell of ash everywhere. The great burnt sacrifice filled the air with incinerated particles of what was recently the continent of Aslant. The great clouds of ash covered the sky, cutting us off from the sun and the moon, dooming us to dusk at day and complete darkness at night. My heart sinks with fear, treacherous thoughts fill my mind. Why did I stay? Why didn't I run like everyone else when I had the chance? I clench my teeth and stand up to watch Earthfall, proudly, like the last Archmage of Kyonin should. Will my world really perish like this? Will I perish? No, that will never happen. I am still alive and I can fight Earthfall in the darkness, not run from it in a blind panic like my kinsfolk, and my cowardly teacher. But what can I do? I will not stop the disaster. I will hardly be able to save empires from their destruction. What can I do? I am but one archmage, powerful and weak at the same time. What's Earthfall? A disaster of untold proportions. An unborn planet dropped on Golarion by blind fate or someone's evil will. A blow so strong that the continent of Aslant is destroyed within moments, turned to ashes, wiped off the face of Golarion. In this burnt sacrifice, clouds of ash and dust are born, stealing our sun. Without the warmth of our star, the air cools, the soil is barren, dark creatures crawl out of their lairs to rule, and the most frightening thing, without the sun, all hope dies in the heart. This is the age of darkness. What was that tower you mentioned? It's my retreat to the north of Kyonin. My home away from home. My observatory. From its top I watched the stars, and, when they were correctly aligned, the other worlds as well. Here, in the northern wastelands, I found the highest mountain, and built a tower on top of it. On clear days I could see the mist over the lake of mists and veils in the east. That's how high I was. What are you gonna do next? I don't know, I need to think. My opponent, Earthfall, is much stronger than me. Without noticing, the storyteller raises his voice to a shout. It is merciless, it does not simply destroy life, it kills an era, ending the greatness of Golarion civilizations. They will sink into oblivion, be forgotten as if they never existed. I need to think. The elf suddenly winces and is silent for a few moments as he calms his heavy breathing. Forgive me, I shouldn't have raised my voice. This story was much harder than many before it, most likely because I played the main role in it. It is so strange to see myself feel the emotions tearing up inside, those that I felt a long time ago, and not remember them. It's like I split. I became both the storyteller and the main character. No, I'm the main character. Too bad the story ended at that moment. Please, if you find any pages covered with ancient elven writings in your travels, bring them to me. I might be able to shed some light on my past, and we will find out how my story ended, perhaps even why I forgot it. Tell me about Earthfall. They are leaving. The people of Kyonin faced the coming Earthfall and admitted that they were incapable of handling this. We've already done that. Yeah, we've literally done this exact one. This is literally what we just did. What are you going to do next? You can just loop. Thank you for your stories. Thank you for helping me remember them. Okay. Let's say I want to know more about you while we're here. I am not surprised. A strange, peculiar-looking elf with unusual powers who comes from afar and calls himself a collector of stories. Such things usually spark some interest. I will answer your questions. Who are you and where are you from? Before I would have said I was a blacksmith from Kyonin who lost his sight and then found his true calling in a new craft, that of a story collector. But I have lately begun to suspect that those words are no more than a lie. The old elf chuckles sadly. It's quite the irony. I never thought I'd have cause to complain about my memory. It holds the stories of the entire world, but I've noticed more and more alarming signs recently. I encounter ancient stories and see myself in them. I don't remember those events, but stories cannot lie, so it means my memory is lying, and I intend to get to the bottom of it. I'm looking for proof that my visions are true, and for the reason why my past has been hidden from me. You look ancient. I thought elves didn't get old. The blind man straightens his bony back with dignity. As you can see, we do if we manage to live for many thousands of years. There may not be a single mortal in this world older than me. The storyteller sighs and continues with a sad smile. Anyway, it's not about time, it's about the stories I keep inside. There is so much suffering and sadness in this world, and in my stories too. I've lived every one of them. I've drunk this bitter experience and accepted it in my heart. It's hard, the weight of all this suffering on my shoulders, but I wouldn't trade my burden for any other. Where did you get your strange powers? I've always got along well with things. I used to be a blacksmith. That I know for sure. Contradiction? You were an archmage? We're fairly certain that's true, but we might have been meant to ask this question before we gave him the writing. That would make more sense. Anyway. I've always felt the essence of things, their spirit. For as long as I can remember, I have always been able to feel traces of memories and feelings left on things by their former owners. I don't know where this gift comes from. Maybe, having taken my sight, the gods granted me another sense. How do you see into the future? I cannot say. Such visions are new to me. My instinct has always worked toward the past, not the future. But some things change. Everything changes. So do I. Perhaps right now the stories that are yet to happen are more important than the ones that have happened already. Why did you come to the Worldwound? Searching for the truth about my real past has brought me here. I saw myself in other stories. In them I was called the elf in a tower. Now I'm looking for this tower. My tower, everywhere. I've been to many places. I've visited islands and deserts, but I haven't found it. There are very few uncharted territories on my map. The Worldwound is one of them. How do you collect stories? The same way a court philanderer collects his conquests. The way a healer has a personal cemetery of patients he failed to save. The way every person, including you, has a box of secret, most precious experiences deep down in their soul that no one is allowed to touch. The world is not made of things or matter even. It's made of stories. They move from the past to the future, piercing our world at the point of here and now. They give meaning to everything. They are the meaning, and everything else is only the setting required for stories to exist. There is nothing more real and alive than a story, and anything real and alive can die or be destroyed, distorted, forgotten. But as long as I carry these stories with me, they will not be lost. This is why I don't often share my stories. By sharing one with you, I give you the right to tell it to others, to distort and embellish it, advertently or inadvertently. How can I be sure that you will keep its original purity? Stories travel from one person to another. They change, become distorted, turn into tall tales. This is why I keep my stories to myself. Okay, I have no more questions. That's what you think. In fact, the world is full of amazing things, and you still have a lot of questions. They just haven't bubbled up to the surface of your consciousness yet. I have a few questions about our encounter at the Blackwing library. Of course, I make no secret of why I came to the library. I was looking for something. What were you doing there? I was looking for a very old thing. Rumor has it, some ancient scroll or book page about the times of Earthfall is held in Canabris. According to the legend, it describes the last days of the proud kingdom of Coercion, later abandoned by the elves fleeing Golarion. I have a vague hope that the events described in it will shed some light on my past. Alright, so we already gave him that. Good. Did you find what you were looking for? Alas, no, but I found proof that the book I'm looking for is in Canabris, or at least a part of it is. Yeah, so we already gave him that. Can I help you? The storyteller nods gratefully. I appreciate your offer. I have reason to believe that somewhere in Canabris there is a manuscript by an elf from Caonan who witnessed Earthfall. The storyteller's voice suddenly breaks and he stops for a moment. For personal reasons, I would like to examine it, but no matter how hard I try, I have failed to find it. Even in the Blackwing library, I only found mention that the manuscript exists and is held somewhere in the city. I assume it's stored at the Grey Garrison. Ah, so that we must have just found a page and the whole thing is at Grey Garrison, got it. They wouldn't let me into the archive when I visited. All those crusaders were nervous about a strange blind elf interested in their secrets. It's understandable. Their crusade naturally made them a little paranoid. But now the Grey Garrison has fallen into enemy hands. I would be grateful if I could see the manuscript. Cool. I believe we have now discussed everything with them. Let's go. I wish you interesting adventures. Don't you curse me like that. It was Discworld that has it, but I think it might be based... I think it's based off some Chinese proverb. The may you live in interesting times. It's basically a... yeah, it's a curse. So, hearing him say, you know, may things be interesting was not great for me. +1 luck bonus in all saving throws against fire-based attacks. I don't know. I guess Seela can have this. Very specific ring. Okay. Right. Quick save. Rest. Cool. Get that one out of there. Keep building scrolls of enlarged person. I forgot why I'm building. Oh, so I can... No, I forgot why I'm building them, but that's okay. Oh, maybe so we can ride the horse? No, we could ride the horse anyway. In our tribe, stealing was more trouble than it was worth. Thieves were severely punished, but up on the surface, you can rise quite high on robbing other people. I've learned. This is Lan speaking, by the way. Next up, anybody gonna talk to Lan, or? It's called Civilization, isn't it? I think is what he said. Yeah, I forgot why I was getting enlarged person ones, but it must be for a reason. Oh, maybe it was so I could buff Lan so that his composite bow would do more damage or something ridiculous like that. I don't know. I'm just in my head going through things. Right, I want to speak to Irabeth before we're done here. Okay, cool. So we are ready to go with her. Nobody cares about Hulrun. Have we got anything else to do in the city? Let's look at that first. Grey Garrison. Grey Garrison. We only got the Thieflings and that's it. Unfortunately, Hulrun's soldiers are dead. After the Canabris. Later. 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 Yeah, later. Okay. Right. So, what I think we're going to do is we're going to end the episode there. Thank you for watching. How much XP do we have as well? So not near a level up. We'll probably get one at the end of the next big quest, but yeah, not right now. Well, maybe we'll get one at the end of the next big quest. But basically, I think we're ready to go to the Grey Garrison. We have a little bit of money to spend, but not enough to buy anything of worth. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the episode here. We're going to come back and we're going to go and assault this building and I guess get towards the end of Act 1. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.